Now what we do next is area under a curve in the interval AB. Suppose there is a function y equals to function of function of x, y equals to fx, okay? Suppose there is y equals to fx is a function. Now you want to find out the area under this curve between a and b. X equals to a, this is x equals to a, and this is x equals to b. So you want to find out the whole area under this curve. If it was a rectangle, you could use length times the width, right? If it was a triangle, we have the formula for that. But this is not a triangle or rectangle. This is like one side is just a curve. So I want to find out the area under this curve, okay? So there are several techniques to do that. We may not be able to find out the exact area, but we will be able to find out or approximate the area, okay? So how do I do that is, first we divide the interval AB into n equal parts. So what we do is, between a and b, I divide them into n equal parts. N can be anything, okay? It can be 100 or 1000 or 10,000 like that, but for now this is just, I'm just giving you the concept behind that. Suppose we are dividing the interval AB between n equal parts, and suppose the length of each of these piece is delta x. Okay, this is delta x, this is another delta x, this is another delta x, this is another delta x, and so on. So how much is the total length? Can you tell me what is the total length? The total length will be b minus a, right? Because this is 0, right? So the total overall length is b, and then minus a is this length is b minus a. So how many pieces are you breaking that length b minus a into? N pieces, right? So n pieces, we divide by the total length by the n, will give you the delta x. Okay, but I will show you another way to get the delta x differently too. But let's see the here. So what I did here is, I'm trying to find out the area under this curve. Okay, what I did, I divided this interval AB into n equal parts such that each piece, this piece has length delta x. Okay, there are so many of these, and this one is also delta x. Now, so for each of those pieces, draw a line to the curve. Draw a vertical line that touches the curve for each of these boundary of the pieces. Okay, next what we do is, we will complete this rectangle. Okay, how do I complete the rectangle? One time with this orange color. Okay, at the for the first time with this orange color, what I do is, I will draw a rectangle like this with this orange color, right? You see that? And then that is the rectangle I'm drawing. This is the rectangle. And this, so what I'm doing is, for each of those pieces, I want to complete the rectangle. So when I complete the rectangle, there are two ways. For this area, you can take the height of the rectangle this side. In this way, you see that the orange color, this is the height of rectangle. This left side is the height of the rectangle I'm taking, okay? And for this one, the left side is the height of the rectangle. You see that? This is the rectangle you get. For the second one, for the second piece. For the third piece, the height of the rectangle, the left side is the height of the rectangle I'm picking on the left side every time. Okay, so we call left sum or the lower sum. Okay, left sum is, you complete the rectangle by taking the left side as the height of the rectangle. Okay, for each of those. See what happens in the last one. Last one is, the left side is taller than the right side. Okay, when you do that, the height of the rectangle will start from the top like that. You see that? Okay, so let us find out area of each rectangle. So what is the area of this rectangle? The height times the width. So delta x times, what is the height of this? So this is a, right? So this is function fx. So what is this height? Fa. You see that? So a, so this is a, this is fa. So the area of this rectangle is delta x times fa. This is the area of the first rectangle. You see that? Delta x times fa. Similarly, for the second rectangle, what is the value of this point? This point is, this length was a, this is delta x. So this is a plus delta x. You see that? A plus delta x. And what is the height? Height is f of a plus delta x. So what is the area of this rectangle? It is delta x times f of a plus delta x. You see that? delta x times f of a plus delta x. That's what you get, right? Similarly, what is the area of this rectangle? Taking the left side as the height. So this point is a plus 2 delta x, because a delta x plus delta x. So it is a plus 2 delta x, and the height is f of a plus 2 delta x, right? So this area of this region is delta x times f of a plus 2 delta x. You see that? Delta x times f of a plus 2 delta x. Similarly, the last one, what is the height? We are taking height as the left side, okay? So the height is, can you tell me how much is that? And how much is that basically? So you are making n delta x's there, right? N pieces, meaning n of them are delta x. So it is a plus n delta x, right? B is basically a plus n delta x. You see that? So what will be this one? The one before that b is a plus n minus 1 delta x, right? Because before 3 it was 2, before 2 it was 1, like that. So a plus n minus 1 delta x is this. So the height is f of a plus n minus 1 delta x. This is the height of the last rectangle, and then delta x is the width. So this is how you get the sum of the areas of those rectangles. Now if you write in this summation form, what do you get? So here I'm writing f of a plus I delta x. At the beginning, which is delta x times f of a, right? So when you take I equals to 0, you will get delta x times f of a. And I equals to 1, you will get delta x times f of 1 times a plus 1 times delta x. It will be a plus delta x. For I equals 2 and so on. So it goes through, and then at the end you go up to n minus 1. You see that? You got n minus 1. That's why you can write I equals to 0. I am starting from 0 because at the beginning there is no delta x. I times delta x is 0 times delta x there, right? So it starts from I equals to 0 and go up through n minus 1 and delta x times f of a plus I delta x. This is what we get. So here it is called lower sum or left sum. Left sum. Okay, lower sum or left sum. So another one is, we do the same thing, but every time you find out the area of a rectangle, you take the height as the right side. Okay, so we will take the height as the right side. You see that the green color there? For the first rectangle, the width is delta x, right? But the height is the right height. You take the right side as the height. So if you complete the rectangle and then color this is what you get. You see that? So all these sides. So what is the area of the first rectangle? It is delta x times f of a plus delta x. That's the height, right? The height is f of a plus delta x. So you see that? Delta x times f of a plus delta x. Similarly, for the second one, the width is delta x again. The height is, we don't take the left height, we take the right height as the height of the rectangle and complete the rectangle. And then the overall area is the area of that rectangle, right? So what is the area of this rectangle? Delta x times f of a plus 2 delta x. You see that? Delta x times f of a plus 2 delta x. And continue with that. And at the end, on the last rectangle, since you are taking the right side as the height, right? You go up to here only, and then this just below that is basically the region of the rectangle here, just below that point, okay? Because we are taking the right side as the height. So what is the area of this? Width is delta x. Width is the delta x there. Delta x, right? And then what is this one? So what is the height of this? This height is f of a plus n delta x, right? That's what you get. So that's what I read, f of a plus n delta x. Now I want to write in the summation form. I equals to 1 through n. So all of them have delta x. All of them have a. Plus what is changing is this number. There is 1, there is 2, there is 3, 4, and then there is n. So there is I. That's what I wrote. I runs from 1 through n. A plus I times delta x. So now look at this. Another way of finding the value of delta x is, here you have the b is basically a plus n times delta x, right? Because this is a and then there were n delta x added to get b. So a plus n times delta x equals to b. Now if you solve for delta x, you subtract a on both sides, right? So you get b minus a, and divide by n, you will get b minus a over n is the delta x. We will need this formula, okay? We will need this formula to find out the delta x later. So let us do one example here. . I want to do one example. What example says here is find the left sum and the right sum. So we call upper sum or the right sum here. Okay. So this is left sum, or this is upper sum or right sum. Right sum, because we are taking right side as the height there. Okay.